Remember, great coaching really isn't about what you know. It's about how you connect, how you motivate, how you educate, and how you show up for the people that you work with so that they can trust you to help them feel better inside and out. Your clients deserve a coach who sees them and hears them and understands what drives them and empowers them to be the best version of themselves. You're like their cheerleader, their knight in shining armor, their, everybody who's ever been the best to them, all wrapped up in a nutshell. Hey everyone, welcome back to Strong Mind, Strong Body. I'm your host, Angie Miller, and today we're diving into something a little bit different. You know that true crimes podcasts are kind of all the rage. Seems like everybody's obsessed with these mysteries and investigations and how to solve cases. Well, you're not going to hear any real criminal activity in today's episode, but you are going to hear about some scary mistakes that might be haunting your coaching practice right now. So whether you're a personal trainer, a wellness coach, a health coach, or any kind of coach who helps people transform their lives, I've got some, quote, crimes to confess. And more importantly, I'm going to give you the evidence you need to solve these cases on your own in your own coaching business. So grab your detective hat or whatever you need, because we're going to investigate top coaching crimes that are keeping your clients from getting results and potentially driving them away. By the end of this episode, you're going to have a toolkit of coaching strategies that will keep your record clean and your clients coming back for more. So let's dive in. Crime number one is when we fail to build emotional connection. The number one thing that I think makes the world go round, right? It's our connection to other humans. It's what lights us up, and it's what builds a community for us. So here's the crime scene. Picture this. You're super technically competent. You know your stuff, your programs are solid, but something's missing. Your clients show up, they do the work, but there's just no spark. There's no engagement. It's like they're going through the motions. And honestly, if you were to ask yourself, you might be too. Here's the truth that kind of surprises some people. The reality is that we don't have to like every client to connect with them. That's just the reality. But we do have to be interested in them as human beings. So, and sometimes even when we do really like our clients, we still kind of miss these golden opportunities to connect on a deeper level. So why does this matter? Because connection drives trust, and trust is going to take your coaching relationship to a whole new level. So there's trust, there's understanding, there's authenticity, These are the elements that make a professional relationship feel personal in all the right ways. So here's the investigation. How do you crack the case? I think the answer is really simpler than you think when it comes to connection. Even if you don't like your client, the thing you can do that's free, no matter what, to create connection is just listen. Really, truly listen when they talk about their lives, their families, their work, their fears, their victories. And if they don't readily open up, the easiest thing for you to do is ask open-ended questions that invite conversation. Not intrusive, invasive questions, but genuine questions that invite them to tell their story. Things like, what's the best part of your day on most days? Or what would success look like for you 6 months from now? Or what's been the biggest challenge in your wellness journey so far? The evidence is when we know more about our clients, we know more about them. We understand their value system and what matters most to them. And when their coaching aligns with their values, they become more intrinsically motivated, so they light up more. And here's what we really want to discover. What makes your client get out of bed in the morning? What lights them up? What turns on their switch? So basically, case closed on this one. There are thousands of coaches out there with similar credentials and knowledge. But how many coaches reach their clients on a personal level and make them feel truly seen and heard and valued and understood? Not as many as you'd like to think, right? That's your competitive edge right there. Again, you don't have to like them, but if you listen to them, you're going to learn about their value system. They're going to be more intrinsically motivated. And frankly, honestly, when that happens, what I have discovered is that I sense a vulnerability in my clients that I didn't sense before. I learned things about them that I didn't know. And then all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? I kind of do like this person more than I thought because now I understand them more. It's not just going through the motions. Okay. So crime number 2, misunderstanding motivation. So here's the crime scene. Your client seems so motivated in the beginning. They come in all ready to go, but now they're dragging their feet and you're frustrated because you know what they need to do, but they're just not doing it. So you start thinking they're not committed. Maybe you even think they're lazy. I don't know. So here's the investigation. Here's where most coaches, I think, get it wrong. We've been conditioned in a world focused on external motivators, test scores, promotions, grades in school, before and after photos, and numbers on a scale. But here's the breakthrough evidence. External motivators don't sustain long-term change. The real motive is that we need to tap into an intrinsic motivation, what your client truly wants at their core level. Do they love being challenged and learning new things? Or are they more comfortable when you take things in small doses and you give them very achievable goals that they build their self-belief? Or do they thrive on variety, or do they crave consistency and routine? Because everyone's very, very different when it comes to that. The key evidence, if you remember the episode that I did on growth mindset, I did one at least a couple of years ago. And if you haven't heard my previous episode on this, I hope you'll check it out. Because the key evidence is that people with a growth mindset are naturally more intrinsically motivated. They want to reach their highest potential and they're open to challenges. So the solution on this one is to keep your coaching sessions focused on process over outcome. Make it less about the goal itself and more about the journey of getting there. Celebrate their daily effort and consistency and help them discover what they're learning about themselves, like their strength, their determination, their resilience. So here's a critical case note. Motivations change over time. What motivated them one week might be completely different in month 3. So keep the conversation going. Keep asking them questions about how their lives are changing and what matters most to them now. I know this to be true because for me personally, my motivations have changed dramatically throughout the years when it comes to movement and exercise, right? It used to be more about aesthetic. Now it's totally about brain health, emotional well-being. It's also about moving well, breathing well, and having good posture so that I age better. So the thing is, you have to keep the conversation going because you could have had this client for a decade. And I guarantee you their motivations have changed since the time that you started working with them. So here's how you close the case. When you understand what really drives somebody, you're not just their coach, you become their collaborator. It's like they're in the driver's seat, their hands are on the wheel, you're in the passenger seat, you are rah-rahing them the whole time, but you're giving them the tools to create lasting change. So here's crime number 3. Another crime that coaches commit is when they get the know-it-all syndrome. We all love people like that, don't we? Thank you for knowing everything. I wish I knew some of that. No. So here's the crime scene. You got certifications, the experience, and the knowledge. You know what works. So how come you're not just telling everybody what to do, exactly what to do, and expecting them to follow your expert advice? Well, because the evidence against this approach says, guess what? We only know what we know. And the more we know, the more we learn how much we don't know. So there's so much more to learn. There's so much more to grow. And we know what we know, but we don't know everything about everyone. And we don't know what's best for them, right? And they're not there for us to tell them what to do and to fix them. Go back to motivational interviewing. It's huge. When you refer to motivational interviewing, like open-ended questions, and then finding out what drives people and letting them come to their own conclusions. People will only change if they want to change, if they see a reason to change and it matches their value system. So the thing is that when we think we know all the answers, we stop growing. We just become a know-it-all. And then we try to tell everybody what to do. And frankly, it's obnoxious, right? So the real crime is when we approach coaching from a place of, I know what's best for you, just listen to me. We rob our clients of their power. We make them dependent instead of empowered. And I think you and I both know one thing. I think we both know we see that a lot. We see, frankly, insecure coaches and trainers who don't want to empower their clients. They're afraid they'll lose them. And so they make their clients dependent on them. And really, that's not what's best, because your clients, if they're empowered, they're not going to stop coming to you. They're just going to believe in you more. And they're going to want to come to you more because you're who makes them feel good. So the truth is, your clients are the best navigators of their lives. They have the answers and tools inside of them already. We're the collaborators. We're the ones guiding the journey, but we're not dictators demanding compliance. So the solution always, when it comes to this, is give your clients choices. Let them have a say in the matter. They need skin in the game. They need to feel empowered and to remember that results come from their effort. It's not because of you, their body is changing or they feel better emotionally. It's because of their effort, right? You are guiding them, but they're the ones actually with their hands on the wheel. So, case closed, be a coach who's also a learner, always reading, always educating, always growing, keeping your eyes open, your mind flexible. Imagine what you can help your clients achieve when you combine your expertise and their self-knowledge and you put your ego aside. So, crime number 4, another crime that coaches commit is withholding the why. So the crime scene is you tell your clients what to do. You give them the plan, you give them the exercises, the meal suggestions. They follow along, but something's missing. There's not really a spark. There's no real engagement. And the missing evidence is the why. When we tell our clients what to do, but the why is missing, we rob them of purpose. And I've said before, Jade Simmons is one of my favorite speakers, and she always says that purpose isn't what you do. It's what happens to people when you do what you do. In other words, do you light up a room? So we rob them of purpose, right? We don't give them a why when we're just like going through the motions and telling them what to do and then just being like, okay, go. That's not really a spark. So the investigation would be, why do you want them to do this particular exercise? What is working and why does that matter? How does it apply to their everyday life? How will it help them move better, feel better, and do more of what they love? And you'll especially find this when you train, well, everybody really, but especially I train older adults. And so why is huge, because they're not going for the gun show. I mean, their why is everything to do with agility and movement and mobility through the lifespan and confidence in being able to move their body through space confidently and not risk falls. So for wellness coaches, the why would be, why are you recommending the sleep routine? What about the stress management technique, the mindfulness practice? We want to give them a why by connecting it to their real life and their challenges and their specific goals. So here's how we build a case. When we have a why, we have purpose. We're not just going through the motions. We're building intrinsic motivation by helping clients understand the value of what they're doing and how it applies to their everyday lives. So the fear factor is that some coaches worry that educating clients will make them less dependent, that they'll eventually not need us anymore. But here's the plot twist. Empowered clients, again, take an active role in their transformation. So therefore, here's another idea for you. Not only do they want to keep coming to you because you make them feel good and you do good work for them, but the other thing is when you empower them, they don't put all responsibility and onus on you. You empower them to take responsibility and onus. So in other words, I've said this before in previous episodes. When I was raising my daughters, I learned really quickly that if I came between them and their problems and I told them what to do and it didn't go well, ooh, guess who got blamed? Same thing with your clients. You don't want to be like, I'm large and in charge and I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. No, because then if it doesn't go well, they put all onus on you. You've got to empower them and be like, hey, you need skin in the game. Like here's a meal plan. And if you stick to it, blah, blah, blah. But again, going along with their why. But the bottom line is you want them to have skin in the game. You want them to be driven to succeed. And you want them to know that their success is dependent on their effort. right? Results match effort, not just your effort, but their effort. So case closed is educated clients are engaged clients, and engaged clients are successful clients. And guess what? Successful clients refer other clients. Yay! Then you're just on a referral system. You don't have to do the hustle. Okay. Crime number 5, mismanaging expectations. The crime scene is your client says, I'm working so hard, but I'm not getting anywhere. Probably most of you have heard it. Or maybe you're thinking, well, if they would work harder, or if they would just stop doing this or stop doing that. But here's the investigation. The crime has 2 suspects. It's unrealistic client expectations, and so unrealistic expectations from us as a coach. Client expectations, here's some groundwork on this. Getting anywhere. I always invite clients to tell me, what do you mean when you say you're not getting anywhere? What does that mean to you? Because I want to know, what do results mean to you? Hopefully I already know this, but if they're going to say this, I'm going to still inquire. This is why education matters, because focusing on process over outcome is crucial. And that's why realistic expectations from the beginning is going to build patience and understanding, because we want them to focus on the process, not just the outcome. So what does getting anywhere mean? Does that mean they haven't lost 5 pounds in a week? Does that mean, right? What does it mean to them? And then you can have a better understanding. So how about coach expectations here? New coaches can fall into this trap. It's like parents who see their kids' achievements as reflections of their parenting, right? Yes. Okay. We're not going to go there. We're just going to leave that one alone. All right. But shake it off. Okay. So we want our clients to get dramatic results. So we look good? No. We want our clients to get dramatic results so that they feel good, right? It's not all about us. So the evidence is, when we push too hard too soon, or we blame or shame clients for not progressing fast enough, we're going to destroy their intrinsic motivation. Everyone's going to progress at their own pace. So here's how we close the case. Emphasize that fitness and wellness are a way of life. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Build patience, celebrate small wins, and remember that sustainable change takes time. All right. Crime number 6, body language betrayal. Careful with this one. Here's the crime scene. You're present, you're in the room, but you're mentally checked out. Maybe you're checking your phone, you're watching your clock, you're looking around the room, or you just generally seem like you'd rather be somewhere else. The evidence is body language speaks louder than words. Here's some silent signals that you could be sending without realizing it. Arms crossed. I don't care. Maybe we're cold, but it looks defensive and aloof. Avoiding eye contact looks disinterested. Leaning against the wall or equipment while clients work just looks, I don't know, like we're just kind of resting, like maybe we'd rather be somewhere else. Clock watching, don't even need to go there. Looking at yourself in the mirror, not going to go there either. So the investigation is, your clients are investing their time and their money and their trust in you. And when your body language says you're not fully present, it's not just disrespectful, it's a safety concern. And it's a mark against our whole profession. So if we want to close the case, the bottom line is we want congruency between our words and our body language. We want to be present and engaged, and we want to show up fully for every single session. So I have a call to action for you. These are 6 coaching crimes that could be sabotaging your practice and your client's success. The good news is, now that you know what to look for, you can start building better habits immediately. Remember, great coaching really isn't about what you know. It's about how you connect, how you motivate, how you educate, and how you show up for the people that you work with so that they can trust you to help them feel better inside and out. Your clients deserve a coach who sees them and hears them and understands what drives them and empowers them to be the best version of themselves. You're like their cheerleader, their knight in shining armor, their, everybody who's ever been the best to them, all wrapped up in a nutshell. If this episode resonates with you, I would love to hear which crime hit home the most. You can send me a message on social media or leave a review wherever you're listening, or you can even email me. But until next time, I hope you keep coaching with passion and purpose and presence. So until next time, thank you for joining me.